So again, today in our session 2, we will discuss how to simplify rational algebraic expressions. So now, let's proceed first with the fundamental property of fractions. So when we say fundamental property of fractions, if A represents a real number and B and C represents non-zero real numbers, so it only means B and C must not be equal to 0, then AC over BC is equal to A over B. It just shows the lowest term of the given fraction. Now, for our examples, we have to simplify the following fractions. So we have 24 and 36. We have to find its lowest term, and we have 17 over 21, and we also have 24 over 30. So the first, what you have to do to find its lowest term is to find the GCF. We can say that the given fraction is in the lowest term if the numerator or the numbers in numerator and denominator doesn't have a common factor. So, kung may common factor pa po siya, it means hindi pa siya naka-lowest term. Okay? So, now, let's find first the GCF of 24 and 36. So, what do you think is the GCF of 24 and 36? You may use our chat box. Other greater than 2, what do you think? Okay, let's try 12. So if we have 12, if the GCF of 24 and 36 is 12, so we will divide by 12. So what is 24 divided by 12? You may use our chat box. So we have 2. Very good. How about the 36 divided by 12? So we have 3. Therefore, the GCF of 24, the lowest term rather of 24 over 36 is 2 over 3. How about letter B? We have 17 over 21. As we can see, 17 and 21 doesn't have a GCF. Therefore, this is the answer, or it is already in the lowest term. Okay? Next, how about 24 and over 30? What do you think is the GCF of 24 over 30? Okay, very good. We have 6. Kindly use everyone class ha para nakikita din po ng iba yung answer nyo. So we have 6. So we will divide by 6. Chat to everyone class ha. Now, what is 24 divided by 6? Divided by 6. What is the answer? Okay, very good. We have 4. How about 30 divided by 6? We have 5. Okay, therefore, the final answer or the lowest term of 24 over 30 is 4 over 5. That is the main concept of fundamental property of fractions. Okay, now let's proceed with the rational algebraic expression. Again, it is in the form of n over d, where n is the numerator and d is the denominator, where the numerator and denominators are polynomials. And d must not be equal to 0, because when d is equal to 0, that expression is considered as undefined. So, dapat po yung denominator natin ay hindi equal sa 0. Okay? Now, let's proceed with the next slide. These are the steps how to simplify rational algebraic expression. Step 1, you have to factor out the numerator and denominator completely. How to factor out? We can use uh, the 5 things I discussed to you, or the 5 ways. We have common monomial factor, CMF, difference of two squares, DTS, perfect square trinomial, PST, um, and then we have also quadratic trinomial, QT. And then the last one is sum or difference of two cubes, SDTC. So we will use these 5 ways how to factor out polynomials for step number 1. And then step 2, we will divide out any common factor. If we have a common factor from numerator and denominator, we will just divide out or cancel out. Okay? Now let's have examples. So I have here three examples. So we have to simplify each of them. Let's have letter A. So we have 45a squared over b over 30ab. So in this case, we will just use the fundamental property of fractions. Okay? So we can use the cancellation if you are familiar with that. So first, you have to find the GCF of 45 and 30. So we can have 5. So 45 will be 9, okay? And 30 will be 6, okay? And then, so we will just simplify this one. So we have a squared here and then a. A will be cancelled out. And then a squared will be a. Paano po nangyari? You will just subtract 1 in the exponent of a squared. So 2 minus 1, it will be a. And then a will be cancelled out. Okay? And then since we have the same exponent for b, so this will be just cancelled out. That's why we have the answer 9a over 6. So this will be the final answer. Another solution. So for example, we have 45 a squared b over 30 AB. So mga hindi po marunong masyado mag-cancellation. Okay? Let's have first the numerical coefficient. So we have 45 over 30. Numerical coefficient muna tayo, class, ha? So for example, you have to find its GCF first. Again, what is the GCF of 45 and 30? What is the GCF? We have, use the chat box. Okay, so we have 5. So the GCF of 45 and 30 is 5. Again, chat to everyone. Paki-chat to everyone, class, para makita po ng classmates nyo. So, if we have 5, tignan natin if this is the lowest term. Okay? Baka may ibababa pa. So, we have 45 divided by 5, that is 9. 30 divided by 5, that is 6. Do you think, class, the 9 and 6 is a prime numbers? Ibig sabihin, wala na po bang GCF si 9 and 6? Do you think? Baka may ibababa pa si 9 and 6.
Three.
So, we can also lowest term the 9 over 6 by its GCF, which is 3. Tama? So, we can also lowest term this one. So, we have 9 divided by 3, that is 3. And then 6 divided by 3, that is 2. Okay? So, how about 3 and 2? Is 3 and 2 are prime numbers? They are both prime numbers, right? Therefore, this is the lowest term of 45 over 30. So, kung medyo madali po sa inyo hanapin yung GCF, you can find its greatest other than 5, which is 15. Tama? So, you can have 45 over 30 divided by 15. And you will come up with the same answer, which is 3 over 2. Okay? Paano kung inuna niyo po yung pinakamaliit? Pwede naman, yung pinakamaliit na factor. Just observe if the answer a, is still a composite number. Pag pareho pong composite numbers pa rin, si numerator and denominator, you have to find its lowest term to come up with the final answer. So, we have now 3 over 2. Yan. 3 over 2. So, yung whole na, numerical coefficient natin is already done. Now, let's have the uh, a squared over nb and then ab. So, here we will just use the division. Okay? A squared divided by a, just subtract the exponent. That's why we get a. And then b divided by b, subtract the exponent. That will be b raised to 0. Sulat muna natin. So, this will be a raised to 1 and b raised to 0. 1 minus 1. Okay? And then if we simplify a raised to 1, that is considered as a. And then b raised to 0, any number raised to 0 is considered as 1. Or any variable raised to 0 is equal to 1. So this will be 1. Okay? So, or 1a. So we don't need to write the 1. So we can have, we only have variable a. Therefore, we have 3a over 2. So this is the final answer. Okay? Pwede rin po kayo mag-cancellation dito and then find its lowest term. Depende kung ano yung pinakamadali sa inyo. This is the long method and this one is the short method. Okay? Do you have any questions? May tanong po ba? Pinakita ko lang po yung mahabang way tsaka yung maiksing way. Okay? Next, how about a squared plus 2a over 2a plus 4? This one, we will use the factoring of polynomials. Okay? So we have to factor out first the numerator and denominator. So we have a squared plus 2a and then 2a plus 4. So in this case, we will use the CMF. CMF, the common monomial factor. Same with the denominator, we will use the CMF. Okay? Or the common monomial factor. So first, find the GCF of a squared and 2a. The numerical coefficient of a squared is 1. Diba? So what is the GCF of 1 and 2? Anyone in the chat box? What is the GCF of 1 and 2? So the GCF is 1. Okay? The GCF of 1 and 2 is 1. Okay, so we can write 1. And then the GCF of a squared and a is a, since a has the lowest exponent. So we have a. Okay? And then divide each term by the GCF. Divide each term by the GCF. 1a or a squared divided by 1a or a squared divided by a, that will be a. Ito po yun. A squared divided by a. So that is equal to a. And then, to find the second term, you will divide again. So 2a, we have 2a divided by a, we have 2. Okay, so we have here 2. Okay? Next, we are done with the numerator. Let's have the denominator. Find the GCF of 2a and 4. So for 2 and 4, the GCF is 2. How about the variables? We have a here, but in the second term, we don't have any variable. Therefore, the GCF of 2a and 4 is just 2. Okay? So same process. Divide each term by the GCF. So we have 2a divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2, that is 1. And then we have a. So we will write a plus or addition. And then, again, 2 divided by 4. So we have 4 divided by 2. That is 2. Okay, so we have now a plus 2. So that is the step number 1. Step 2, you have to find its um, common factor or common binomial, common polynomial that you can cancel out or divide out. So as we can see, we have here a plus 2 in the numerator and a plus 2 in the denominator. So what you have to do is to divide out or cancel out the common factor. So ka-cancelled out lang po natin yan. And then kung ano yung natira, that will be the final answer. So we have 1a here or a, and then we have 2. Therefore, the answer is a over 2. Okay? Questions? So later I will answer your questions. Next, let's have letter B. For letter B, we have y squared minus 25 over y minus 5. In this case, we will use the DTS, difference of two squares, for the numerator, DTS. And then sa denominator, di na natin siya gagalawin. Okay? So we have y squared minus 25. Let's show the solution here. We have y squared minus 25. The step 1 for the dt is, step 1, you have to find the square root of y squared and square root of 25. So the square root of y squared is equal to y, and then the square root of 25 is equal to 5. Okay? Then step 2, you have to form two binomials, wherein the first binomial is addition, the second binomial is subtraction. And then just copy the square, so we have y plus 5, and then y minus 5. So this will be the factors. So we have y plus 5 and y minus 5. Then just copy the denominator, which is y minus 5. Okay? And then proceed with step number 2, wherein you have to find the common factors. Then you will just cancel out. As you can see, the common factor in the numerator and denominator is y minus 5. So you will just cancel out or divide out y minus 5. So you will divide y minus 5, and then yung natira na lang po is y plus 5. Therefore, that will be the answer, y plus 5. So this will be the answer. Now, about your math clock, if you want to find the value of y, so we will just equate by 0. Y plus 5 is equal to 0. Yan. And then you have to transpose 5. So y is equal to negative 5. Okay? Paano naman kung ang binigay sa atin ay, for example, the given is y squared minus 25 over y plus 5. Okay, ginawa nating addition yung denominator. So the factors is y plus 5 times y minus 5. And then the denominator is y plus 5. Then the common factor is y plus 5. So you will cancel out the y plus 5. And then the answer will be y minus 5. Okay? And then if you want to find the value of y, so we have y minus 5 is equal to 0. Transpose negative 5. So it will be the opposite sign. So we have y is equal to 5. Ayan. Okay? So that is how to simplify rational expressions po yung kanina sa value ng y. Okay? And then how about the division of negatives? So I will just discuss what if we have negatives. The quotient of any non-zero expression and its negative is negative 1. So this is the given example. So we have to simplify this rational expression. We have 3b squared minus 14b minus 24 over 48 minus 8b. So in the numerator, we will use the quadratic trinomial case number 2. Case number 2. Yan. We use quadratic trinomial case number 2. And then for the denominator, we will use the CMF, the common monomial factor, to factor out the denominator and the numerator and denominator. So as you can see, the factors of the numerator is 3b plus 4 times the quantity b minus 6. And then for the denominator, we have 8 times the quantity b minus 6. Okay? As you can see, dito po, we have b minus 6. Papansin po, this is b minus 6. And then on the denominator, we have 6 minus b. That is the division of negatives. So when you canceled out 6 minus b and b minus 6 and 6 minus b, it will be equal to negative 1. Magkaiba po si b minus 6 kay 6 minus b. Baka di po napapansin. So, if that's the case na magkabaliktad po yung numbers, okay, or yung terms, so when you cancel out that two expressions, okay, the answer will be equal to negative 1. Walang problema if this is b minus 6 over b minus 6. the answer will be equal to positive 1. So you will just cancel out. Pero pag ganito po, once you cancel out, the answer will be equal to negative 1. This one, the answer will be equal to positive 1. Okay? So that's why we have negative 1 here. So negative times the quantity 3b plus 4 over 8. And then you will just distribute the negative sign. That's why we got negative 3b minus 4 over 8. So this is the final answer. Ayan. Okay? So that is the division of negatives. Pag magkabaliktad lang po yung terms. Okay? What's next? The next one is quiz number 2, but it's already 9:09. Let me stop first